Good morning, everyone. And before we start, I just wanted to apologize for the delay. It was inevitable, and there's a power disruption on my side. So, therefore, the delay. Um, so, we will be talking about the world of finance today. Can you confirm, everyone, what are you seeing on the screen so that we can begin? You can chat with me. Can you just punch in? Okay. Yeah. All right. So, my name is Devi Prasad. I am a faculty member at Ashoka School of Business. I am heading the PGDM in securities market, and I'm a head of the department finance also. So, thank you for joining, everyone. Today, we will be talking about, in general, we will not want to talk just about any specific program as such. The focus will be on giving a my view of what is world of finance to me. Uh, Being an insider of finance, I've been in the industry for about 17, 18 years now, a little more than that. But core finance is about 17, 18 years. So we'll be talking about now this. I wanted to keep it as interactive as possible. So please, whatever that your questions are, whatever that I want you to, participate in, if you could do, that would be helpful so that both of us can, do well in the in this webinar and utilize the time better. So, if you can tell me what is finance for you in very simple terms, what is finance for you? When you listen to the word called finance, what is that first thing that rings the bell for you? Yeah, finance, numbers. See, people can type in, right? The chat is open.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to read out the names of people who have joined today. Gunashekar, Vasu, Sai Prakash, Banu Prasad, Navya, Chakri, Deepti, all of you, Gautam, Harsha, welcome to the webinar. I just want you, there are about 25 odd numbers. Please type in what is finance for you. You don't have to be right. I just wanted your point of view as well. What is finance for you? What is the first word that comes to your mind when we say finance?
Art.
Yes, Prakash? Yeah, you can speak. Or Gunashekar, you can also speak. Yes.
Sir, it is the heart of the business, sir.
Heart of the business. Okay, very good answer. Rest you can type in. Okay, Prakash, what are you saying? Managing money. Very good. That's a typical, textbook example or textbook definition of what is finance. Financing is about effectively making or managing money and anything related to decision making about money, investing, budgeting, forecasting, etc. Isn't it? But my way of looking at finance is, as I have mentioned here, finance is not just numbers. It is a language in which the world make decisions. So any business out there would want to communicate in one language, that is money, and finance is the one in which the money operates in. So in a way, it is a language. Finance is a language in which the world businesses make decisions. Okay. Again, no hard rules and fast rules. It's just about, I just wanted to discuss about what I know, what I understand, what is my opinion, what is my view on the subject, being an insider. Okay, let's continue. Now, we will be discussing six things primarily. What is the finance universe? Accounting and finance bridge. Are they one and the same? What are the careers that you would come across in the finance domain? Today, being the AI world that we are living in, is AI shaping the finance domain or how the future of finance is going to be. And we will talk about quickly what are the different programs that Ashoka School of Business doing at the end. And then I would like to take no question and answers while showcasing it to you. What are the career outcomes if you were to be in a one specific segment of finance? Okay. So this is how I wanted to keep it. The finance universe, the first thing that we will be discussing, that's the first part. See, we have 6 pillars on finance world. So these 6 pillars would decide in which direction your finance career is going to be. Corporate finance, where you have new company coming to the markets, financial markets, raising capital, and whether two companies coming together and merging into one, right? Then you talk about what is their valuation. See, for example, the capital raising activity and mergers and acquisitions. For this, we need to understand the valuation of a company. When we wanted to buy something, when we wanted to sell something, whether it is a share of a company, whether it is one company taking over another firm, the valuation comes into picture. This is where the CFO office, plays a major role and tries understanding whether the valuation with the money with which I'm buying the uh, the targeted company. Should I be using the share equity capital? Should I be using the debt capital? So the capital structure part, it's all falls into the corporate finance part. The high-fi jobs or the high-paying jobs would fall into corporate finance part. Then comes into capital markets, the second pillar of finance or second segment of finance. Here, what happens is this is more what happens after corporate finance. Capital markets comes into picture where the trading happens. There are different products that are available for investors and traders, right? In the form of shares, in the form of bonds, and in the form of derivatives, right? For which you need to understand the market microstructure, basically how exchange operates, what is bid price, what is ask price, all of those parts comes into the capital markets. See, I don't wanted to give you so much of sophisticated technical terms and knowledge. So we are trying to keep it as minimal as possible. We'll see if we can continue this webinar series up and running such that these as we layer on, you understand the depth of the subject. So this is an introduction, so I'm keeping it as simple as possible. But still, if you have questions, you can please raise a hand and ask. Then the third pillar, banking and credit, where you talk about commercial banking like HDFC, ICICI. You talk about investment banking like the ICICI Securities. If you're talking about India, or Axis Securities and so forth. But if you talk about global investment banks, then you're referring to somebody like Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, and so forth. And the other part, the risk and lending. Obviously, when you talk about as a bank, as a commercial bank, you would have a risk in terms of lending to people, right? And your major concern is the credit risk, so it comes in there. If at all you being investment bank and you're operating in the financial markets, then market risk comes into picture, right? And for that, you need to do analysis, whether it is credit analysis or market analysis, and so forth. And NBFCs like whether you talk about Muthoot Finance and others would fall into that category. So that is a third pillar. Then you talk about wealth and asset management. So mutual funds, pension funds, all of those asset management companies falls into this category. Even when you walk into a bank branch, there is a section where it talks about wealth management division. So basically, if someone has good funds, okay, good capital, to invest into the markets or invest into different asset classes, you have a wealth manager who actually guides you in order to achieve your goals, future goals. For example, retirement planning. Okay, for example, when you wanted to take higher education, right? So all of that comes into picture. It is little beyond that. Again, I'm telling you, there are no hard first rules that I wanted to keep it in my first webinar series. So I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. So all that wealth and asset management comes in here. When you talk about fintech and quant, which is a fifth pillar, in the capital markets, this is the new segment of capital markets, I should say, and beyond, obviously. Algo trading, robo advisory. Today, if at all, you use this fintech applications, which are like PhonePay and others, what happens with there is you can actually check or trade for that reason. You can actually check your CIBIL score, right? So those are fintech companies. Earlier, what used to happen, you need to walk into the branch of a, any retail bank outlet and trying to figure about what is your credit score. Those things are happening at a touch of a button today. Blockchain coming into picture, AI in finance. So AI is one of that thing which I just mentioned to you about CIBIL score and beyond. Again, when you talk about AI in finance, it can also be something like where the decision making whether to lend money to some particular borrower is also comes into picture. Regulations. See what happens in regtech. Regtech is evolving. Okay, so application of technology in regulatory environment, right? So there's a lot of compliance that comes into picture when you are actually dealing with money. So regtech is going to help us to automate a lot of processes. Okay, so the fintech and quant is evolving, and that is where you can say when we talk about Hyderabad, no, we are a more of a IT centric city. So fintech is also obviously being here. So fintech and quant is going to be the future. I'm not talking about the other ones are not going to be. The fintech and quant is going to take major share, whether it is talking about new careers that are coming and forming in there, whether you're talking about the existing verticals or existing pillars, changing its their appearance and how they are moving forward. Then international finance, when you talk about one company in one country is taking over another company in another country, or the likes of, earlier we talked about Bank of America, Merrill Lynch and all. Say, let's say, for example, you're going for a trip in high-tech city. Okay, you're walking through, even to some extent in Gachibowli. You have these bigger brands in financial service segment. JP Morgan is there, Invesco, Franklin Templeton. All of these are GCCs, basically global capability centers. What they mean in very simple terms is we are talking about the offices of the global financial companies which are set up in India. So those are GCCs. Obviously, when they're expanding to India, primarily Hyderabad and Co. So they have their operations here. They wanted humans or human resources, the professions being there. So we also look at the GCCs under international finance only. And majority, like if at all you talk about the gift city in Gujarat, so that is one of the places where majority of international investments happen, right? And the major things that happen here is going to be dealing in forex, right? So that is international finance. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. So let's understand this from this perspective today. So then, why should one learn finance? See, anything that you wanted to learn, it has to be a combination. Again, this is my view from a combination of whether it is your passion, whether along with that, whether you have a opportunity. If there is no opportunity, the passion remains as a hobby that may not give us the living, the source of living. So therefore, let us understand whether there is an opportunity in finance in order to make career. So the India's financial landscape, when we wanted to see, if you have those numbers, because numbers will make the discussion more objective. So you have these numbers in front of you. 350 lakh crore is the market cap of Indian stock exchanges or Indian companies on listed on stock exchanges. That makes NSE, the National Stock Exchange, the third largest market globally by volume, obviously, third largest market. When you talk about GCCs who are the international financial institutions coming to India and opening their shops, there are 1,500 plus. And out of which 355 are in Hyderabad. So we are becoming a world capital. Then, the people, the retail investors primarily invest in mutual funds in the form of SIP or one-time lot of investment. The total assets under management today is sitting around 54 lakh crore and it is increasing, right? And this increase from last 5 to 10 years is increasing at a 20% year on year. Then, as I was saying, NSE by volume is the third largest, particularly in the derivatives market. Okay. So yeah, and then you have other information. If at all you wanted to have a look at it later. So this is about presenting the opportunities for you if at all you are in the world of finance. Then can you just ping in the chat box whether you are coming from a BBA background or a BCom background, please? It could be even other backgrounds as well. I just want to understand the where you're coming from so that my presentation, the way that I'm talking to you, can be changed. If you can just ping me, what is that? Where are you coming from? What is your background? BBA, okay. BBA, BCom, BA, BTech, even BTech, please, whatever it is, yours. BSc Agriculture, all right. BBA, BCom, right? BCom, BBA taxation, understood? All right. So, you must have studied, majority of you must have studied accounting and finance before. So there is always people think that, okay, accounting and finance are one and the same. I'm not saying they are not one and the same. And at the same time, there are people who say they are very different. I'm also not saying they are very different. What I would tell you is they are interconnected. Okay, they are interconnected. Most of our Indian qualifications, when we talk about it, we have accounting more in our bachelor's or in 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, and finance in more of a master qualifications. In general, I'm talking to you, as obviously you have finance in bachelor level as well. But when you look at the subjects, more often than not, we are more into accounting. Even we talk about Telugu states, even across India. But when you talk about Telugu states, majority of them are taking CA, CMA, CWA, and others, which are chartered qualification. And there as well, you have a lot of accounting coming into picture. So I want to take this opportunity in order to make you understand or put my point of view. What is accounting? What is finance? Is there any connection between the two? All right. So here you go. So there are different types of accounting and that are existing. Okay. If you refer to any textbooks or any YouTube channel here and there is one thing which I have seen in common when I started learning about accounting and finance. By the way, I'm an engineer. So accounting, I've learned it at the later stages of my career. After joining a job, I had to learn a bit about accounting. But I'm a more of a finance guy than an accounting one. So I used to understand this statement which is keep on coming up. That is, accounting is like a you looking at a rear view mirror, okay, that it shows you at the back. Okay, when you're driving a car, you're looking at a rear view mirror. And finance is more like you looking through the windshield, right? So both are equally important. One you're looking at the back, one you're looking at ahead. That is exactly how accounting and finance are different. But what is accounting? The accountants, what do they do day in and day out? They obviously do meticulously enter every other transaction into the books of accounts that is happening in the business, isn't it? Now, how is it different with finance is once these numbers or transactions are entered into the books, using them, the finance guys will want to do, let's say, a valuation of a company, valuation of a stock, valuation of a bond, or let's say the mergers and acquisition that we are talking about it, or regulated reporting, or tax filing, all of these are a finance guide us. Okay. So those two are interconnected. Without one, without accounting, finance cannot exist and so forth. So let us understand what are the different types of accounting are there in general, right? Financial accounting, the first one. So what are the keywords that we tend to come across is P&L, the profit and loss statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement. Now then we have a, how are we entering into the books of accounts? Either using one or the other accounting standards, either IFRS or Indian accounting standards, etc., for reporting purposes as well. Then how is it connected to finance? All right. So how is it connected? Then you talk about the keywords like equity research, credit analysis, investment banking, GCC reporting. In these segments or keywords, how it works is, let's say you have an analyst. You are seeing on the paper, whether it's digital or physical paper today. You are looking at a newspaper and it says so and so analyst working for so and so company is trying to say that a particular stock is undervalued, overvalued, etc. Now, those guys are equity research analysts. Okay. So, how are they coming up with this comment saying that okay, this is their view that it is the stock is good to buy, better to sell it, not to buy anymore, something of that sort. How are they making these decisions is by looking at the annual reports of the company. Okay. When you talk about annual reports, it again comes back to financial statements, right? So again, financial accounting is linked to equity research, is linked to credit analysis. A bank is willing to lend money to some company. Then again, they have to go through the financial statement analysis. So that is how they are linked. So financial accounting and equity research, credit analysis, they are interlinked. So this is how I want you to understand the rest of the segments as well. Then comes the management accounting, where the keywords are budgeting, forecasting, variance analysis, key performance indicators, and so forth. Now, these keywords or these concepts, if at all you have learned well in management accounting, they will be connecting into the finance in the form of either corporate finance, financial planning and analysis, treasury, business valuation. So I'll give you a use case. As it is written, a CFO uses management accounts to decide whether to raise debt or equity for an acquisition. In simple terms, if a company A willing to take over company B or merge with company B, it needs money. Now, that money, where will they raise it from? Will they dilute their existing ownership in the business? Or will they go to the bank and borrow from them? Or issue bonds? Any of this can be possible, right? And a CFO looks at budgeting, forecasting, variance analysis in order to connect with the corporate finance. Then again, cost accounting. If anyone is from a core accounting, you would always say management accounting and cost accounting are one and the same. I too had this question when I was teaching in, I was teaching globally. I was teaching this college in London and I was teaching ACCA subject. So this, I didn't know anything about accounting, but I was talking about financial analysis. Then I was reading through this book and this question has come management accounting and cost accounting. I was not so sure at that time. Then I Googled and find out saying, okay, is it one and the same? Some were saying yes, one and the same. Some were not saying no. I mean, they are different. Later on, with the time, with the experience, with referring to multiple books and asking people the question who are practitioners, I realized cost accounting and management accounting are different. There's a lot in common. Okay, there's a lot in common, but they are different. Okay, so how they're different, we'll get to know in a while. What are the keywords again? Product costing, break even, overhead allocation, all of these things would come in cost account. Okay. Are they related to management accounting? Yes, closely. If one is an engine, other one is let's say, a locomotive pilot. The one nothing but who is driving that engine is one, and other one is an engine. So, can you tell me which one is an engine and which one is a driver? Or who is driving it? I'm talking about cost accounting and management accounting. If you can tell me which is the engine according to you and who is the driver. Please go on. I want you to guess. Okay. Someone is saying management accounting is the engine. All right. More. Right. Gunashekar is saying management accounting is engine as well. Okay. Cost accounting is engine. All right. Okay. It's a mixed. It's a mixed bag. See, cost accounting involves the raw material costing. What would be the minimum order quantity? What is the break even? That is break even, overhead, ABC analysis, and all of that. So for me, cost accounting is an engine, management accounting is a driver because the decision making happens more in the management accounting using the cost accounting numbers. Okay. So how are they connected again? In finance, accounting to finance. Okay. Let's say there is a infrastructure company, right? Willing to be valued so that they can decide whether to take about a project or not, right? The company is willing to analyze whether to go for a project or not. What it does, it looks at cash flows coming in several years, expected cash flows, right? And what is the initial investment outlay? And when they compare more of a discounted cash flow, if you understand, if not in very simple terms, understand that, okay, a company is deciding whether they have to invest in a particular project based on the cash flows which are it is anticipating in the future. They would discount it for today's value terms and then say this project is good or bad. Okay. So that is how the cost accounting again. How are we getting actually this decision making? How are we anticipating the cash flows? How are we saying that okay, this is my initial investment? All of those numbers or majority of those numbers comes from cost accounting. Okay. Yeah. Then come to tax accounting. Anybody who is a prospect in taxation in the group? All right. So tax accounting talks more about, no, these are the keywords. Again, GST, deferred tax accounting, no, transfer pricing and tax planning. How again they are connected to finance. Let's understand this. You have this big four, see, whenever we say tax, jobs, careers in taxation, you would immediately recall somebody like Deloitte, right? Somebody like PwC, somebody like KPMG, nothing but the big fours in first place. Then somebody like Rand Tax or even the Indian IT firms, the IT filings and so forth, right? Now, when we talk about it, how are we linked it to finances? I mean, I'm taking more time in this slide because either one or the another way you have studied this in the past, or one or the other way, this is the background that you carry into PGDM or any master qualification. And I want you to understand the bridge between the two in one way or another so that it makes your life simpler. Okay. So I don't want to again bore you with a lot of technical terms, but yes, when you talk about corporate tax advisory, big four finance, M&A structuring, what is M&A structuring? Again, what we talked about in taking overs and all. But if at all, I can take over other company by giving shares. I take over other company by giving money, by giving cash. In these two ways of acquisitions, you need to also understand what are the tax implications, right? So that is where tax accounting and finance is interlinked. Forensic accounting, if you're taking client on board or a customer is opening a savings account in very simple terms, we need to ensure as a banker that the customer is the same person or same entity what they are claiming to be. They can say they are XYZ person, but they are must be politically exposed people, or they must be even no antisocial elements. Whatever the antisocial activities happen, like terrorists blasting, bomb blasts and all that, that has happened only through the bank channel. Without the bank channel, the major funds cannot transfer from one account to another account. Okay, though you have this black money and hawala, all that happening, but still majority of the things also happen through banks. That is where the AML, KYC, risk and compliance, regulatory investigations comes in the finance part, which are again looking at the forensic accounting. Okay, what is forensic accounting talks about? They are trying to detect unusual patterns, unusual trade patterns, or unusual transaction patterns from the statements of the companies or from the statements of clients. When you talk about fund and government accounting, so obviously um, this is where majority of RBI activities or the government activities which are talking about uh, expenditure of the government or revenue generation, all of that forms into fund or government accounting. So in a simple terms, there are multiple types of accounting, and all these types of accountings are interlinked to finance. So now tell me, is there a bridge between accounting and finance? Sir, I did not understand anything. I have to go back and look at the recording. You're welcome. But the point is, I just wanted to ensure that you at least understand there is a connectivity between the two. Okay, right. Thank you for confirming. Let's go forward. So, why the combination works in very, again, because we spent enough time and I hope you have understood a lot of things. What accounting teaches you is to read financial statements correctly, and what finance teaches you is what to do with them, whether to do the valuation, whether to do the risk management or risk analysis, and also to take investment decisions. So there are real world cases, not only just about people who do BCom, BBA, but also there are people who does ACCA, CA, and among other things, right? So the best combination comes with the PGDM. If at all you are not, let's say, not everyone will be able to accomplish or study these charter qualifications. So my set of suggestion or advice is pick up a PGDM which covers the subject, if not in full, at least to the major extent. What works for you? What can actually enable you to put it in that direction where probably you can take charter qualification in the near future where you want to be. Okay. Okay. Now, this is a slide which talks about why finance makes sense and what to be aware of. I gave you numbers in the past, in the previous slides and so forth. Yes, finance is a growing specialization, right, for a student. But what do you to be aware of? There are multiple advantages in finance. I don't have to talk to you about it. But what are the things that you have to be wary of? Highly competitive entry, right? The bigger jobs are going to only IIMs and IIT graduates, right? And there are a lot of changes that comes into the landscape of finance where you have to be wary of SEBI regulations or any other regulatory things that are changing in high pressure environments. If at all you're working in some sections of finance, obviously where the majority of the payments goes or high salaries, then obviously there is a high pressure environment, right? And majority of the hiring happens seasonal. If you miss one season, you probably have to wait 3 to 6 months more in order to be getting hired. Okay. Then entry can be repetitive. Repetitive in the sense the job that you do, majority or monotonous. You do the same things again and again, again and again. There are some roles where the job or the work can be monotonous. Okay. But with the time, you get the expertise, you get the leadership, you understand how the entire process is working. Then, if you understand the upstream and you understand the downstream, what do you mean by that? Let's say for a particular task to be completed, there are three processes which have to work. Um, process one, process two, process three. You're working in process two in a company. Upstream means it's process one, downstream means it is process three. Once you understand the upstream and downstream, what happens is with the experience, You can go and talk to your manager and say, sir, or ma'am, this process can be done better by using less time, less effort, less number of people, right? So that is what when I talk about expertise. Then you have ethical pressures. Sometimes what happens, I mean, there are a lot of cases that happened in recent past on these banks saying that you cannot do a cross sell of a product which is not right for your client. So because of these targets and all within the banks and financial institutions, you end up mis-selling the products. Okay, so there are ethical pressures. So these are the things which you have to be aware of when you wanted to get into finance world. So the most important part, probably this is something where a lot of graduates would like to know, who are either venturing into finance through PGDM or who is doing PGDM. So what you study is in one section. What the skills you build, if these skills are not either being operated or being you are not learning them, if these skills are not you are inculcating them as part of your further study, then it means you are missing big, right? If you study these, there are certain skills that you need to build, and because you built these skills, then you have the jobs available. So these are the list of jobs that are available for you in today's world. Okay. Yeah, if you want, you can take a screenshot, but yes, this is what it is. Then, what are the different finance roles you can get? See, the fresher CTC can be your eye catching thing. I would tell you, with experience of handling my current batch and my previous batches, whether it is 5 lakhs as a starting salary, whether it's 4 lakhs, whether it is 3 lakhs, whatever, whether you, depending upon what you study, depending upon any other thing, guys, understand the first entry level is not the point where you are probably retiring, right? That is the entry level. The entry salary can be decided either by what is the skill set that you have, number one, whether you are very good at your communication. The third can be whether that particular company have a requirement at that point in time, whether they are desperately looking for right human resources. When that is not the case, but still they wanted to hire people, that happens. It happens in the lot of companies. Um, that decides the fresher CTC. Okay, the entry level. But again, you can take a screenshot the role where you work, um, and what do you do, and the fresher CTC. Now, what I want you to do, looking at this, screen or the slide is, I want you to know primarily that depending upon your dream job, I want you to think about these are the different things that I need to learn. These are the different companies that I need to target. Okay. Yeah. So, where are the finance jobs majorly? Particularly being in Hyderabad, being in India. First thing is, global capability centers, the foreign companies, Indian offices. Okay, operations, middle office, back office, risk analytics, compliance. Okay, AML, that is anti-money laundering, financial reporting, quant research. Right. So that is one area. Commercial and private banks, likes of the high street banks, where credit analysis, treasury, wealth management, trade finance, SME banking, all those comes in other section. Then fintech companies comes into picture. Anything. See, what is fintech? Utilization or usage of technology in finance. Okay, in finance domain, that is fintech. So if you are using an application in order to place trades like Zero Dark Grow, by using an application, you're buying mutual fund or you're buying a unit of small case. That is one. You're able to make transfers in cash using PhonePe, Razorpay. That is other one. Able to make credit card payments. Okay. Able to buy stocks in the US market. That is again another one. So, or able to apply loans or apply for loans. That is another one. These are all, what are they? they're still serving what probably the banks could have serviced majority, but they have made usage of technology in order to help us serve better, right? So you can be on the tech side of it, you can be on the product side of it, okay? You can be on having understood about how loans work, okay? Having understood about how do you profile a client, right? All those things will enable you to get into the fintech companies, right? So obviously product manager is something that you get as a role after a decade or so, 5 to 10 years at least, with experience in several roles that are coming below it. Yeah. So other financial institutions like working with exchanges, working with credit rating agencies, working with more than a broker. Motilal Oswal is beyond a broker or a NBFC also, and even home loans or finance. I mean, the motor financing and other things. So here, these are the skill set like equity research, credit rating, and all of that comes into picture. So this is where the finance jobs are when you talk about Hyderabad primarily and also India. So then the next question comes. The question is whether AI is going to take away the jobs. AI is making a lot of IT companies to lose their share prices, etc. If you have seen, if you're following the stock markets, because Anthropic has come forward with one technology, it is impacting the share prices of Infi, TCS, among others. Now, in that case, similarly, whether AI is impacting finance, the answer is yes and no. Why? Because there are a lot of jobs which will become redundant. There are a lot of jobs it is going to add. Okay, so which side of the story you are in, that makes a lot of difference. Okay, now when you talk about equity research, valuing a company, etc., it used to take 3 to 5 hours before. Now it is taking 30 minutes, right? In my current batch, I am tied up with a financial modeling expert from Motilal Oswal. They are helping our students to learn not just financial modeling, at least that is the aspiration, where they would also make use of AI tools and try to show them that, okay, earlier you were building everything through Excel. Now you can achieve the same thing using AI tools and develop it in 30 minutes. Obviously, you also have to be coming up with your expertise of whether AI is actually doing it right or wrong. But yes, majority of the repetitive tasks are outsourced. Same with credit risk trading, compliance, wealth management. All of these are either done very quickly. I would not say flawlessly. That is where humans has to come into picture. So what happens is you need to understand the concept, you need to understand the subject, but at the same time you need to also understand AI tools so that you do a lot of work quickly and your focus is more on problem solving, creativity, among others. Okay. So which roles are under pressure in finance? Data entry, reconciliation, manual reconciliation, routine credit data gathering, basic report preparation, manual KYC documentation, etc., etc. Now, where are the roles being amplified? What do you mean by saying amplified? See, a lot of complex analytics still humans has to do, but 90% of that is done using AI tools. The rest of 10-20% you are doing it. That is one of the examples where I told you about equity research, right? So it's a combination. Now, new roles which are emerging is like earlier, we used to have a model risk officer. Now we have AI model risk officer, fintech product manager, robo advisory architect, etc., etc., etc. So these are the new roles coming up. The existing roles, which did not go away, but usage of AI is becoming a part of their routine journey. And the first column or first table is talking about the jobs are gone, where the jobs are gone. So you need to decide on which side of the story you want it to be. So the skills that every finance professional, either at the entry level or at the PGDM level or later after getting a job, you need to learn. And you can segment them into, again, there's a wonderful slide. If you wanted to take a screenshot, you can. Where AI and technology things you need to learn, where regulation things you need to learn. See, regulations is not something that you need every finance professional has to learn. But if at all you want to get into the regulatory part of it, then that block you need to take care. No, sir. I'm in general, I wanted to learn in that case, then I would prefer AI in tech, analytics, then markets, then accounting and corporate finance. This is how I would be going into. No, I wanted to be getting into, compliance part of it, and regulation block also comes into picture. Okay. Not all mandatory, all at the same time kind. But if at all, if you wanted to have a successful career, then you need to learn this layer by layer with the time. Some before getting into PGDM, some while you are doing PGDM, some you need to learn once you get a first job and go so forth. Okay. But the soft skills are the key. When I say soft skills, it is not just about communication. It is also about critical thinking, report writing, the ethics part that we were talking about, ethical pressure in finance, the ethical judgment, right? You have taken a lot of content from AI tools at work for report writing. You writing or you giving a reference saying that okay, I have taken from this tool. There is a structure. There is nothing wrong in taking from an AI tools. In fact, you have to take it. Okay, that is again my opinion. Also, majority of the businesses that I've spoken to, you have to take it. In fact, they are building AI tools like ChatGPT in their internal to the organization, so that the data doesn't go to the outside the organization, right? So business acumen. The most important part is the business acumen. I would say, especially when you're a PGDM student or aspiring to become one, and the stakeholder management, ensuring that every stakeholder is given the respect and given the returns that they deserve, right? Yeah. Then I'm trying to little speed up because I was initially thinking I'll cut it down short, but then because of the participation, I'm going little no, I'm taking little more time. So all in all, how to build the right skill stack as a student is, you have the formal coursework. Do not skip any of the courseworks. Every coursework will give you something or the another. Again, we looked at the multiple layers. No, those layers will be keep on adding to you. Do not overlook the importance of certifications like NISM. Okay. Need not be going to the charter qualifications, but if at all, I did not mention CFA FRM. But when you talk about finance, particularly with PGDM, finance FRM adds a lot of value. But if you already started in BCom, BBA, the ACCA, CPA, CA, please continue those accounting qualifications. Don't abandon them. That's what the certification stock is. And tools and platforms, Excel is kind of going to become outdated. Okay. So therefore, you need to learn Python, other things. We as a college, Ashoka School of Business has Bloomberg Terminal. We also make use of the other applications like Finland as part of our delivery or as part of our subjects. But this is again my view where I'm coming from. Then the importance of internships and you going outside of your college space, trying to understand the corporate culture, looking at what is the reality out there. No, that cannot be replaced with any books. But yes, books are equally important, right? Then AI literacy. At least you have to be very good at prompt engineering. Well, how to ask the right questions to these AI tools is very important, right? And then build a portfolio. Don't build a CV, build a portfolio. Say that I have created this. I worked on this. These are real stuff. It is not coming from theoretical understanding. I've achieved it either using Python, NISM, sorry, I mean to say Excel part, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Yeah. So then comes to what we are doing inside Ashoka School of Business these days is particularly in finance, we have two programs. Once we had, currently we have two, but earlier we had only one until last year batch, which is general finance with fintech. See, I don't want to talk about more saying that okay, our programs are wonderful, students are taking best use of it, etc. Every business school has their own pluses and minuses. Every program has their pluses and minuses. You have to understand as a target audience or existing student or whoever you may be that what is my core area? Where do I want you to become a specialist? Do not become a generalist. Maybe AI generalist can be good, but finance generalist doesn't work out. So you can be average in lot of subjects, okay, but be good in one or the other one. So when we talk about securities market, we are looking at people who are not only looking at the traditional jobs. The traditional jobs are there. See, we have four career tracks. All of this, not just these two programs, but majority of our programs, few into marketing, few into HR also, we usually look at what is happening in the industry, where are the major recruitment happening, understanding those changes, then we update the curriculum. That is the beauty of PGDM. Not just about Ashoka, any PGDM, the major purpose is update the syllabus. Ensure that your professors are well trained. Ensure that your professors are a good combination of academia and as well as the industry. So if you look at securities market, we look at four career tracks: middle office, back office operations and investment banks and commercial banks. Second one, we are looking at risk and treasury. So you talk about credit risk, market risk, operational risk, and then treasury part. When I talk operation risk, we are not focusing primarily, but credit and market we are. Credit primarily again. Market risk is there because we have a trading, but yes. Then treasury basically at a treasury department of a bank. Majority of these roles are in Mumbai as treasury departments of a lot of these banks are in Mumbai. Then wealth and private wealth management, how to handle a client's account, how to communicate with the client is also there is a subject. Particularly when you're talking to high net worth individuals, you have to be, your body language has to be different, your communication has to be different, right? So those are taken care. Then trading and prop. So basically, you haven't, at least to the extent that I have seen, maybe I'm wrong, but willing to be corrected. There are not many, if I'm not saying any at all, there are not many PGDM qualifications where trading is taught scientifically. Okay. Uh, Scientific way of trading and investment enables individuals to actually make educated decisions when they are trading, not like gambling. Okay, I looked at a news channel. That guy is looking, no, very posh, wearing a nice tie jacket, and he's saying he has made a lot of money. And he's saying, buy so and so stock. I bought, go and buy it. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about you going for tips. You have to understand how scientifically you can actually value a stock. What are the different techniques by which you can figure out what is a good entry, what is not so good entry, where to buy, what to sell, etc., etc. And we don't want you to become a trader. That is not the entire gist of this program. This program is enabling you to become an employee of an organization where trading is happening, an employee of an organization where algo trading is happening, or your understanding of trading can be leveraged. Yes, byproduct is you can always go and start trading by yourself, but that is not the major purpose of this program. Okay, so we whatever that we talked about AI usage, whatever that we talked about, different skill set that is required. We have it in PGDM and securities market and as well as in the general finance and fintech. What is the major? Why somebody has to come to general finance and fintech is, sir, I'm not good at mathematics. I am very scared of it. No, not good is okay, but being scared, but still wanted to make careers in finance, then obviously, no, general finance and fintech will definitely help you out. Um, and also fintech being the core area of general finance, I'll just tell you, the faculty who teaches are also teaching fintech to ISB, fintech to National University of Singapore, NUS. So these are the faculty profiles that we carry, right? Then this is how the structure of securities market is. We want to ensure all of our students who are coming from different backgrounds have a common understanding or minimal understanding of the subjects that we are going to teach. So we start from semester zero. Basically, before they start having that first lecture officially, they need to be good at some fundamentals in math of finance, not math by itself, then Excel, Python, then financial statements. Because if some BTech guy is joining, then they don't understand financial statements. If a core BCom guy is joining, they don't understand Python. So we want all the students to be coming to the same level, right? Whatever that fundamental essentials are required. Then semester 1 and 2 will work as a basics for them, more of a theory, less of practical. But this builds what is required to actually operate in real world, right? So those things. Then semester 3, semester 4, depending upon how much you scored in certain subjects like math, quant finance, etc., we give you two tracks: track A, track B. Track A will need to have strong mathematics understanding, strong coding understanding. So they go into the quant finance track. I would not say trading track alone. It is called quant finance track. Then, if not, no, I am good. I have got 60%, 70%, but not 80% and above. Then you go into the ops and wealth track, wealth management track and operations track. But what is common for both is we wanted you to understand or have a passive income, okay, from financial markets. So both of you will learn scientific way of trading, taking educated positions when you have to. Okay. The faculty who is doing it now, they are coming from, they themselves has a huge consulting firm into the trading and into investments. Those guys actually do the consultation for bigger capital entities like 50 crores, 25 crores, so forth. They will set up them, they'll set up those companies, which are the strategies to be traded, how to trade, what are the softwares that is required, and all that. Okay. So basically, the same company or same professors are coming and teaching you from those companies. So basically, what happens is you're also understanding how do they trade. Okay. What is their mindset when they are taking positions and all that? So you're learning from the doers. Okay. So that makes your learning curve very not very flat or little upwards, not so steep. What does it mean is your learning curve will not be as difficult as a other PGDM student or other degree student. Okay. And semester 4 talks about we giving you the access to funds, real funds, but under the supervision of industry panel. So you analyze stocks, you analyze different derivative positions. You come forward and pitch it to the industry panel. The industry panel, when they go through your report, go through your presentations, ask you questions, if everything is fine, they will allocate capital. You can keep track of that capital, I mean, that investment, and you can always come back with adjustments, whether to, increase your investment or decrease it or book the profits or book the losses, all of that happens. Obviously, again, how you can make use of AI in all of them is also taught in semester 4. Okay. So the real stuff happens then. When you talk about general finance and fintech, yes, these are subjects that are common. Most of them are common with every other PGDM. But it is not just about the subject, how the teaching is done, how the delivery is happening, number of case studies that we're dealing in the classroom, the different projects that we're dealing in the classroom makes an entire difference. Okay. And here as well, we keep updating our curriculum with the what is happening in the industry. And we also have visiting faculty who are already working. So that way you always have this networking possibility where you can probably get a reference, a strong reference in order to get a job. Yeah. So what makes our program different? I have already told you, so I'll not be taking much time of yours. So PGDM securities market, see, there is no guarantee of any of these salaries. I know I'm being, you know, fair or frank, etc., guys, the skill set that is required in order to get these jobs, we will give you. Okay. Uh, no other institution in the world can guarantee a job. Yes, we will make you job ready. We will get you interview opportunities, but we can't take interview on your behalf. So as long as you have accumulated the knowledge and skills that are required, then obviously you'll get the job. Okay. So time to time, the minimum salary is always vary. My suggestion to you is, having seen 50,000 plus people across, the world, in my experience, having taught so many people, my suggestion is look at a brand first. Look at the role. Don't look at the salary. Even if the salary is 3 to 4 lakhs. Yeah, I am saying very low. 3 to 4 lakhs also. Sir, we are paying high fees. Our return on investment is getting delayed for a couple of years. I understand. But that 3 or 4 or even 5, what happens is, after 1 to 2 years, with the kind of CV that we are building it for you, there'll be 2x and 3x of increase in your salaries. You always will come back and say, thank you, you made our CV so much different from other peers of ours. Though at the entry level we got it with this way, but once we joined the organization, it makes a hell lot of difference. We got promoted more often. We were given better opportunities. We were given respect by the peers. That happens when you study. Okay. Yeah. So, like investment, finance is a career of compounding. Okay. Every accounting concept you master, every tool that you have learned, every certificate, including Bloomberg market concepts or NISM that you have, you know, taken or achieved, all of these come together and compounds for your better career. Okay. So, if someone is interested, you can come always to our college, visit it, and we can talk about more and more about the programs. But I want to take some questions. If you have anything, please unmute yourself, ask questions. Doesn't matter who it is. If you have a question, please ask.
Am I audible, sir? Yeah, myself, Shiv Satya, and I would like to ask this question where I can manage the both my MBA course and as long as trading course. Is that really possible to manage, sir? Please say you're muted. You're on mute, sir.
Okay. Thank you. See, the way the structure is, can you see the PGDM securities market slide?
Yeah, sir.
Yes. So
That's
what
all.
happens
Yeah.
is, it's a wonderful question. So what happens here is, you are not taught trading like, this is as a trading course. Okay, let me put this way. There are some subjects which are linked to trading. Okay, there are let's say math behind it. There is a you know uh, programming that is behind it. We don't want you to be an obvious trader, but we wanted you to learn step by step. For example, I'll tell you the difference between a regular trading learning and a PGDM wise trading learning. Say, for example, I'm taking a derivatives class. Okay. If I'm taking a derivatives class, I will tell you what is a forward, what is a future. I will tell you about the definition. I'll tell you about different use cases. Let's say how a particular business like a Tata or a TCS as a IT firm will, or Tata Steel will come into the market in order to manage their business risk using derivatives. But do you tell me all those are required for trading? How TCS is managing their risk for foreign exchange risk using derivatives is essential for you to do trading? Not really. Okay. So what happens is, knowingly, unknowingly, even if you wanted to trade options, even you wanted to trade futures with your real money in the market, you need fundamental understanding of what derivatives are. If you do not understand how derivatives are existing, what is the purpose it is serving, you cannot appreciate going and buying an option. So there's a difference between a surgeon and a butcher. Do you understand the difference between surgeon and a butcher?
Yes, 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 sir.
Yes, right. So surgeon is precise about how they are operating their patient, right? And a butcher doesn't matter. They cut off the different parts of an anatomy, right? So now I want you to, connect those dots and try to understand that why options are coming into existence. That is where we talk about a scientific way of studying. Say, for example, lot of YouTube videos will talk to you when you're looking at trading, like, okay, psychology is important. But how much portion of psychology that they are teaching you? Half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, because the entire program is also for a couple of days, even for months also. The psychology part is taught to you only for, few days. Now here you have a 30 hours program on behavioral finance. Okay. Again, I'm not teaching you behavioral finance from a trading perspective. I'll teach you behavioral finance as a finance guy. Now, there you will also have a part which talks about the biases a human has in order to do the trading, right? So you will appreciate that, okay, I'm having a holistic understanding in finance in general, then I can take a part of it towards application in the case of trading and investment as well. Okay. I hope I am able to answer your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And one more question, if you don't mind,
No,
please.
no, no, go. It's floor is all yours. Please ask.
Yeah, I mean, uh, first of all, I would like to ask this question. This Ashoka so-called B school has been established from I don't know how many years, but I think it's been lot of years. I would
Hmm.
like to know what kind of companies has came to this company to hire
Okay.
the students who are actually completed the MBA regarding that.
Okay. Now, see, first of all, I don't mind answering that question. I'm going to answer, but this is not a right floor to ask that question. Um, Now, if at all you talk about this year, we have a list of 40 to 43 companies who has visited, okay, including marketing and all the specializations. If we talk about finance, we have people who got selected for Northern Trust. We have people who got selected for Ryan Tax. We got people who got selected for Citron Cooperman, PIB Insurance. Broadridge interviews are underway. We are expecting Ryan to come back again. We are in discussion with some company which I cannot disclose, which is a fintech firm, global fintech firm. They have operations in Hyderabad. They are coming in. There is somebody called as Token Payments. They are coming in. Muthoot Finance hiring that we have shared the JD yesterday. Okay. So these are the companies that I can think of at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. One last question. Okay, sure. I mean, I'm uh, just completed my degree and I want to join in this B school. But my friend who is actually studying there, his name is Kota Mohit Kumar right
Hmm.
now,
Hmm.
Kota Mohit Kumar, and he is saying there is a some sort of specialized course after them, which means now present for the first year. They're actually including that course. Am I understandable,
Okay.
sir?
No, no, I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
I would
Uh,
like to know about that course too, and if you don't mind.
No, 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 no problem. See, please don't ask me. This is for the exact purpose that we are with you. See, if you're referring to some certifications for the first years, see, I'm being a head of finance myself. I want my students to learn what is happening in the industry. So, for example, um, I brought someone who is delivering financial crime compliance. Okay, the KYC AML, combating financial terrorism, in a way, forensic accounting to some extent. Is dealt in financial crime compliance. That is one certification. Second certification is global commercial banking. The likes of Wells Fargo, the JP Morgans, Bank of America. These banks, what is exactly they do internally, like operations wise? What is the exact if one of these companies come for hiring or you apply for these companies? What I want you to do is that you tell those companies saying that okay, we are trained on a lot of things that you are doing. Okay. your cost of training can be lower by taking me on board, by hiring me. Obviously, you don't have to train me for 6 months. If you can train me for 1 or 2 months, I will be as good as any other person that you're hiring from other colleges by giving 6 months training. So those are two certifications. The third certification is financial modeling and valuation. I think I mentioned somewhere that a gentleman from Motilal Oswal is teaching because he does it every day in and day out. So how to value a listed company, how to value unlisted companies. There are differences in which these businesses operate. In the sense, if I'm getting a job, how I do it in real terms is very different from what you learn from YouTube or what you learn from Udemy, what you learn from other e-learning companies. So this is a thing. Then fourth one is investment banking operations. I am coming from that domain, investment banking ops. So I been a domain trainer for last 14 years in India. Before that abroad. So I teach you investment banking operations and so on and so forth, right? So there are few students of mine who are aspiring to become a CFA charter. I suggested 1 or 2 people to go with FRM. So what basically they do was some with Mohit, I think is the same Mohit we are talking about. He is into trading. So I connected him with a professional who is into trading. So the mentoring is happening. In fact, he was part of this live
I see.
session, and he disconnected in between and went and because he has to connect to that mentor of his at 12 o'clock. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so we understand you where what you want to do, where you want to become. I mean, where you want to go, what you want to become. If you do not know, we do profiling. For my first years, I'm yet to do it. Once I do the profiling, I understand where my student is standing. Not every student is the same. Every student comes with a different background, different communication skills. So we want to tell them, here you are. This is where you have to go. These are the things which you have to do. See, if you are on the right track, then your target becomes achieving that target or achieving that milestone become easier. If not, you struggle, right? We don't want you to leave any stone unturned to help out our students. Okay. Maybe we are still, going to become the best in the market for getting our placements. But what we are trying to achieve is we want our students to be ready with the knowledge skill set in order to get a job. What are the companies that are coming in from year on year? They are increasing. At the same time, we also want our students to go and explore the jobs using the CV or using the profile that we helped them build. Okay. So that they can get placed. Doesn't matter whether placement is happening in the campus, off the campus, or directly at the premises of the recruiter. We want our students to have the knowledge and skill that is appreciated, respected at the recruiter's level. Yeah, more.
From my side, that's it, sir. I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much.
No problem. Anybody else, please? But thank you for asking those questions. It might be the questions for a lot of them. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, very good morning. Myself, Krish Jaiswal speaking.
Yes, Krish.
Yeah, sir. So actually, I come from a VBA background, sir, and I've always chosen a theoretical path since my degree, and I have chosen marketing field in my last semester right now. So actually, the thing is, I fear max a lot from starting. तो इसलिए whenever I used to select a specialization, I was going with marketing or HR things. So actually, my doubt is, what is one technical skill in fintech you think which is most essential for someone looking to enter into securities market or in fintech?
Okay, understood. Thank you for asking that question, Krish. Yes, it's a wise question. I mean, I want graduates to be like you. I mean, the BCom, BBA graduates to be like you. Before they choose something, understand the prerequisites, understand what things you need to already have, then come to PGDM or then choose a specialization. Wonderful. You will go miles. Continue the same attitude, you will go miles. So the answer is, if it is with a fintech one, to be frank, give me more time. give us more time where we can build your profile in such a way that if not recruiter type A can hire you, we will give you recruiter type B. In terms of what is that required, I only want you to have a attitude to learn, attitude to, put more effort, right? You not depending on others, creating a profile of your own by yourself, right? That is one when you talk about general finance and fintech. But when you talk about the securities market, it's if you fear, it is still okay to some extent. If you like hate it, if you hate mathematics, then probably securities market is not for you. Okay. But if at all you're open, sir, you tell me what to learn in mathematics. I'll come forward. I'll sit. Anyway, you are there after the college hours also. So I wanted to sit and study. You please let me know how to excel in securities market. The reason is securities market as a specialization is not being dealt by many of the institutions. Okay, and there as well. See, maybe this is in my head as a trainer. I have helped a lot of students get placed in my personal level or personal capacity or institutional capacity like Deutsche Bank. I was part of a hiring of Deutsche Bank recruits for the freshers, both in Bangalore, Hyderabad, and also a lot of other places in India. Even at Invesco, even at Bank of America. So what I have seen something in common is what industry wanted is changing very, very rapidly. And without having math background, surviving in today's AI world, surviving, when I say AI world, I'm trying to tell you is like which process can be automated in the future is very uncertain today. So therefore, math, tech, and tools, right? We need to learn all the three, whether you like it or you don't. Okay. When something is mandatory, I would say it is better you learn with um, sincerity and try building the focus, try building the like towards that subject rather than saying that, okay, this is not for me. What is that is every student needs to have, irrespective of whether they're coming to PGDM or they're still with a BCom BBA, is the adaptability. I keep telling to my students as well, please become adaptable. Tomorrow, which sector will do well? Tomorrow, which tool continues to stay? We never know. How I said to you that Excel is becoming outdated. A lot of companies now are replacing Excel with Python. Okay, a lot of things are happening using Python itself. So what about those all people who have put a lot of effort in Excel? Today it's still there. 30%, 40% of companies are still yet to change. 60%, like they have moved on, but there are companies which still uses Excel or some form of Excel, if not literal Excel. So my point is become adaptable. And when you talk about math, Krish, here what happens is we are not talking about that sort of a math where you have theorems, you have protractor, you have the scale and all that. That is not there. This is more like, in very simple terms, I'll tell you. If I mean, this is very layman example. It is not this simple, but still, I wanted to give an example, so I'm giving you. What is the worth of an investment which is fetching so and so amount of returns in the future years? What is its worth today? That mathematics you need to know. How do you go about doing it? Using Excel is easy. No, there are some functions which can serve the purpose, or code in Python. A lot of libraries can help us. But if you wanted to go to the highest paying jobs in finance, which is quant finance, for that mathematics required. If not, if you're looking at risk side of it, as long as you are number crunching, even number crunching not at highest level, to above average level, you can get into the risk side. Risk pays you more than operations. than wealth management roles. So try that. If you cannot get it, you need to have a plan B, which is ops and wealth management. Okay. So yeah, it is not the same mathematics that you have learned in your schooling or that made you to be scared, but this mathematics is more of application. If somebody teaches you how you can apply math, then you will remember, right? So it is more of application of mathematics in finance. Yeah.
ओके सर, थैंक यू फॉर द क्लैरिफिकेशन। एक्चुअली ये डाउट मेरे को बहुत बहुत डर था कि मैथ्स बहुत हार्ड रहता करके। तो उसके लिए आई हैव ऑलवेज गॉन थ्रू लाइक ट्रेडिशनल एंड द थियोरेटिकल वेज लाइक एचआर मार्केटिंग। अभी आप जो क्लैरिटी दिए, इट हैज हेल्प माय माइंडसेट अ लॉट। And right now I'm pursuing my BBA from Avinash College of Commerce, and I'll be joining PJDM for Ashoka. And I'm very hopeful कि like you guys will help us a lot, like जो भी students बाहर से आ रहे हैं। And
Nice.
thank you in advance, sir.
Give me time. Give me time. Be same studious. Be
Mm-hmm.
that I want to achieve something. You be with us for the 2 years. Do what we are
Yeah,
saying.
sir.
Definitely, your dreams will come true.
Yeah, ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सर। ये डाउट था मेरे को एंड यू क्लैरिफाइड इट, हेल्प मी अ लॉट।
Right. Thank you for
ओके,
asking.
थैंक यू। या सर।
Guys, more? Anyone else? Okay. It took a little longer. Thank you for staying behind. If you can always reach out to Ashoka. You can find my number also with students of mine. You can always come back to me. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being patient throughout. Some of you will catch up very soon. Thank you.